Hey guys, back at it with another work drama episode. This time, I wouldn't call it a two-parter, but it's got two topics. So the topics are laziness and jealousy. I know, what a combo at work. Just to deal with that already. So this is gonna be talking about how to handle it and how to deal with it. Because I just dealt with it just like an hour ago. At least the jealousy part. No, laziness part too. Came to work, clothing job. There's about 8 boxes of, stuff to put back into the should I use the proper term? I guess the back of house. I wish I could say a more regular term. They have to put stuff back to where it's supposed to be. It's like 8 bins of it, 8 boxes. I used to have a photo. I probably still do have a photo somewhere. Maybe I'll put it in the video. 8, 8 bins filled to the top. And I wasn't here the last 2 days because I wasn't scheduled. So I ain't come in. If I'm not scheduled, I ain't coming in. In the past, I would have, but I'm good now. So, I'm doing my job. And, sorry, keep making that noise. I'm doing my job, during the end of my shift, right? And, somebody asked me, like, hey, is this something that we got to transfer out, ship somewhere else? I'm like, yeah, that's gotta go. Like, we don't have it. We haven't had that color in months. And they go, is that actual shipping or is that ship? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I haven't been wrong. I work more than all of y'all. Well, I don't work more than the managers, but I put more work in hourly. If we go by hours, and you talking about you like what is that about? Like, you know? And he was like, oh well, I mean nothing by that. Nothing derogatory. It was. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't care. You just always on my dick over nothing. And that's one example. People may think, oh, that's one little, like, nah, it's like a everyday thing. Another day he complained about how I taped the box. Did like 10 boxes. He can only do like 2 or 3. So, that's an example of him being jealous that I can do 10. He only does 2. And he's just trying to find something to nitpick me about because he's not good at his job and I'm great at mine. So, that's just, and it's like, he'd be good at his job if he just put the work in. A lot of these people come to work. I'm going to get to that later. But yeah, just dealing with a little bit of, you could call it teasing, but it was like, I could, like I said, I just named 2 things on the top of my head I could easily tease this man about that I just don't, because it's work, and I'm not there to make people feel uncomfortable. I'm not there to make people feel less than. I'm not there to like put put myself on a pedestal, but I will tell you, if you're not doing nothing, that something should be done. Right? Because he's got a favorite coworker that don't do anything, but then he'll talk about this other coworker that does more work than him, but he claims doesn't do anything as well. Like, how you gonna say that about Jay? Oh, Jay don't do this, Jay don't do that. I'm like, bro, Jay do more than that guy. Um, that Joe be doing. Joe don't be doing shit. But you wanna come at Jay? All right. Like, is it motivated by something else? I'm not even gonna get into all that. But I just spent a good 3 minutes just throwing that out there, right? So I say all that to eventually say, what do you do when a coworker is beyond lazy, not doing any work, and then now you got triple the amount of work to do, right? And I'm gonna just show you an example of what not to do. This guy Joe, I was just talking about him. He felt slighted that he was doing all the they call it go backs in retail. He was putting all the stuff away, at least on the floor, because I work downstairs now. I work in the and yeah, they call it back of house. I feel like there was another name. In the stock room. Yeah, so I work in the stock room now. He was mad that he didn't get help on the floor, with the customers, right? And his response was, I'm not gonna do any work. I'm gonna give them more work. And he wanted to get revenge. Those are 3 things you don't do, because all you're going to do is make overall work harder for everybody. So because you felt slighted, everybody else got to suffer. And the problem is, you working with other lazy people, right? That work is just gonna go down to us or to the people who do the work. So you trying to create more work for people who already don't do work. They already have find ways to not do any work. You give them more work, it's not gonna do anything. Your best bet is to do the job the best way you can. I'm not saying you gotta go above and beyond and all that, but just try to do your job as efficiently as possible. That's the best thing I can tell you to do with dealing with people who are lazy, because there's nothing you can do. There's not gonna be any repercussions. They got favoritism. They got people backing them. You just gotta do your job, because what they can get away with, you won't. So don't think you can just be like everybody else. That's one thing. As far as jealousy, there's always gonna be some type of professional jealousy at work. Um, and some of it's not even professional. Some of it's like personal jealousy. Like, oh, they think this one person likes you, and they seem like, oh, you two get along really well, and they want that. And it's just all make believe, all POV. So there's nothing you can do to control people's POVs and their own thoughts. And the funny thing is, I've tried to like keep my distance from some of these people, and they try to they try to get like even closer, because it's something about like when you're to yourself, quiet, and you just minding your business, that like offends people. That causes chaos in their heads. They're like, oh, he really don't care about us. I'm like, I really don't. I mean, obviously I can't. I mean, I just got a complaint the first 3 minutes, but like, I don't care enough to want to change things. Like, I'm not gonna try to make you a better person, beg you to apologize, change your ways. I'm gonna just, you want to be an asshole? Be an asshole by yourself. Go be an asshole to somebody else, not me. I'll do the job. Funny enough, I can just call out. I can just literally just call out the whole week. Say I had things going on. I got perfect excuse to just take a week off. But nothing like. But see, if I did that, right? Let's say I want to get vengeance and take a whole week off. Guess what's gonna happen? I'm gonna come back and not a single work is done, and then they're gonna be like, oh well, you weren't here and we needed you, and this is your fault because we were understaffed and a lot more people called out and I couldn't do anything by myself. I could only do so much. So now you just created all the more work. And then now shipment is coming in. Now you got 30 boxes and all the stuff to put back. And you got to ship stuff out. So doing that is going to cause you more pain than good. So I would say try to stay focused. Try to stay locked in for as long as you can. Not forever. I'm not saying to be a good soldier. Shout out to Karrion Cross. You don't have to be a good soldier. Because me, every time I'm going out, because I used to love coming to work. I used to love it. I used to have so much fun. Now I'm dreading it. Every time I got to work, I'm like, ugh. I hate it. So now I'm thinking, what do I do now? Well, obviously I gotta leave. I'm even sure that, there's so many signs for me to leave. And what's crazy is this week they're trying to increase hours. They're saying instead of like, 5 a day, it's gonna be 6.5. I don't do 5 a day. I do more than that. But for the average person, it's 5 a day. It'll go to 6.5. I'm like, bro, I don't give a fuck. I'm tired of being here. I'm tired of this environment. It's a very fake environment. I just don't enjoy being there. So, if you feel like you're in the same situation, like, I feel like this year gotta be my last year. Like, I just cannot stay past this year. I'd be shocked if I even last that long, because this environment is killing me. It's not good for my health. Like I said, it's not even the worst environment I've been in. It's technically the best, but lately, that fake energy, I can't deal with it. So this is more like a rant more than an episode. Give you a few tips and advice on that. And, and I guess the fun thing this kind of coincides with how to handle not being liked. And I also get the jealousy and the laziness from the managers too. A lot of the managers are like that. They'll just act like they got nothing to do. That's like, girl, if you had done some work, you would have even less to do. There was a time there was nothing to do for weeks. But that's another thing. Laziness is also contagious. So if you see the people at the top being lazy, you think, that's valid. So, that's all I have to say. This is more of like semi-venting session. Some advice in the middle, but I hope y'all like it. Yeah, man. I'll probably do even one more. Because a few more topics I want to touch on was nepotism. Nepotism was one thing. I don't know if nepotism will be as long as this one, but I definitely want to touch on nepotism. I think I did touch on nepotism already, actually. But I'll make another vid because I don't remember. So there's nepotism I want to touch on. Favoritism. Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna do favoritism. Nepotism and favoritism. Double topics. Just came with one right on the spot. So that's gonna be the next vid. Might even post that shit sooner or later. So thank y'all for listening to me, and hopefully y'all took something, just took one thing out. You don't have to take everything, just one thing. All right, peace.